Hey everyone, and welcome back to Brand Chain Chats, a new series where we take a few minutes to get to know people in our industry and dive into some of the hottest topics that get us up and running each day. I'm Brian Gill, president of Thumbprint, and I'm here with my good friend Dean Hunt, who is the owner of an amazing branding firm, Level13. Dean, thanks for joining us, bud.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, man, a lot happening in the technology world as always. We're really excited to have you here. Why don't you give us a quick little background on you, the company, and how you found this cool industry?
So Level13 is the branding and marketing company that I own, and we decided to evolve and get into the augmented reality zone. And so we developed Whisk, and in essence came up with the app Whisk AR. So what Whisk AR is all about is just allowing anybody to create augmented reality moments on the fly without having to learning code or take months on doing one moment. So it's literally just a few minutes and they can have one.
Do people still ask you if you have to have goggles with AR? Is that still a question that people ask? Do they still
They
confuse it with VR or no?
some
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
some.
right.
And then you have to educate, well, augmented reality really isn't as
Yeah.
goggle,
Yeah.
needed as virtual reality,
Yeah.
So.
Is this, where did AR come? Where did the passion for AR come with you? Is this something you've always loved technology? Were you a gamer? Like, where does this come from?
Honestly, it came from wine. My wife and I
19 Crimes?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As soon as I saw 19 Crimes and the label just come alive with their app, I was just enthralled, and I was like really intrigued. I'm like, there's got to be somebody that's doing this universal tool that could do it for anything, and there wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was what I set out to do, is like allow other businesses to do that.
Very cool, man. That's awesome. So, how long has Level13 been around? When did you start?
Well, Level13 has been around for about 6 years. Whisk has been
Okay.
around about 5 now. So
5 years. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I was in the corporate world and decided to just kind of leap and go for it. So
Cool. Well, there's a really cool project you worked on, some driver cards where you built in and were able to deliver a really cool AR experience. Will you share some of that with the audience here?
yeah, so a new team was coming onto the scene of NASCAR, and it was Floyd Mayweather's the money team.
Oh, the money team. All right. Yeah.
And so they came out, and one of the main guys that was running that team reached out to me after seeing me on Instagram, Whisk AR on Instagram, and they were like, can we get be involved with this or whatever? And so we just kind of started talking more and more, and one thing led to another. And what they had is these I didn't even know this was a thing, but they have driver cards that tells the story about the team and the driver, and it's
Yeah.
all just designed cool. And what happens with Whisk is that if you scan it with the app, the video plays on that track, because they do them every month or every race that they do. They actually
Yeah.
have new cards, so they can advertise, whatever track that is, and stats. So it's kind of a neat, it pretty much just extends the print.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it brings it to life, right? Like it's able to, I mean, at the end of the day, in our world, we're trying to be storytellers, right?
Yep.
And deliver, you hear everybody, everything's about delivering experiences. So that's to me where I think your products just can bring things to life. Um, What about so give me some other stuff. I know there's some other projects. I mean, for me, obviously I run a distributorship. So for me, I would want to talk to you immediately about, hey, well, how do I white label this? Right. My clients are, I want this to be a thumbprint, right? Experience. Is that something you guys are doing, or do you have a history of doing this or?
Yeah, we actually are involved with doing white label versions of this, so it can be totally skinned into whatever company branding that you want. We just started one with DLS, Diversified Label Solutions. So
Yeah.
we just completed a zoo white label version, where they wanted to talk about conservation efforts. And
Yeah.
so That
Oh, that's
was kind
cool.
of their driver for doing it, because nobody's going to sit there and read like over 2 paragraphs of a sign. They want a video.
Of
So,
course. Yeah.
um, and
It's the
then,
world of TikTok, okay, Dean. I'm not
yeah,
trying to read anything, okay? Like I need you to just, dance for me for like 15 seconds and tell me a story. That's it. So,
lately, we just signed on with a partnership with, a company called Art Prize. So in Grand Rapids, there's this like citywide art like competition that happens.
okay.
There's over 750,000 people that show up into Grand Rapids during this period of 2.5 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
And so they signed on with us now, where we're going to actually do scavenger hunts throughout the city.
Love it.
And so that's a new kind of way to use our tech. And
Yeah.
so it's exciting.
That's cool. We've ventured into the AR space for a number of years now, and the scavenger hunt is a really cool component of that. So yeah, that's a fun sell. That's awesome. We'd love to see more of that at a future date. If you could share some, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is, we talk all the time as our clients are talking to us about technology, and I know you and I spoke a little bit before this interview about Chat GPT, and it's funny now how AI obviously is coming into our space, and everyone's trying to figure out, every client's trying to figure out how do we embrace modern day technologies, right? Emerging technologies. Do we do this ourselves? Do we bring in experts and partners? I say all this to ask you, like, what's on your roadmap? Where are you going, right? Because your space moves at a very fast pace. How do you keep up with this? How do you think short term and long term at the same time?
Well, I think we're in that kind of middle ground space right now, where it's a level of education of what augmented reality is,
Yeah.
and then where it could head. And so if we can get people involved and understand that augmented reality doesn't have to be complicated,
Yeah.
uh, and have it user friendly, more and more people will be a part of it and understand it and be able to use it, just like QR codes or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is this is like a way of beautifying a QR code. That's the
Yeah.
way we view it. And then, down the road, we're going to be involved with like fashion. I mean, you could have augmented reality glasses where it's like normal fashion glasses, and then suddenly like the tech will be the window,
Yeah.
in those lenses and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's we are definitely we're on the ground level right now, and we're hoping to keep going as the tech goes.
How do you measure success, right? Like, because at the end of the day, like, you don't want to just be seen as something fun, right? Like all sizzle, no steak, right? So, like, at the
Right.
end of the day, like, I believe what you're doing isn't just for fun and for gamification. You're not building Roblox, right? You're actually helping companies solve real business problems and delivering data, right? So, like, how,
Right.
when you meet with someone for the first time, how do you guys determine what a successful launch or activation is going to be?
Well, so with the tech that we have the ability to know how many people viewed it,
Mhm.
clicked on the link to get more info. We know how long they viewed it for, or how many times they viewed it.
Yep.
There's all that data that print piece is hard to provide. The ROI is really hard to justify in print
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
where this actually tells you what the ROI is, because it's like, oh, it's a nice piece. Oh, there's a way to actually get more info, or just
Yeah.
scan this and suddenly they're immersed into it. It's just that higher level experience.
Well, I feel like it's the perfect complement to print, right? Like, I mean, we've seen floor maps, right, for home builders, and then you look at the floor map and it comes to life, right? And now you're
Right.
looking at the home and you're seeing where the walls are, and now there's dimensions now opposed to something just being flat. Like, and look, there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that don't want print to go away, right? So, like, the last thing we want
Right.
them to think is AR is elevating the print. It's an experience that's layered on top of the print. It's not to replace print, right?
No, not at all. It's a partnership, it's just, I feel like extending the print.
Yeah. Well, you said you're partnering with the label manufacturer, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, they one thing that they were talking about doing was actually having it be available so that the three-dimensional object will rotate and be able to show where to load like the print ribbon or something if they sell, when they sell machines and stuff, their parent company. So
Wow,
there's
that's pretty
there's
cool. So
yeah,
it's
there's just a lot
informative.
of uses.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's not now that's a very informative product, right? You're using that for training or for there's a use case versus just something that's fun. So
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
that's cool, man. And where's home for you again, Dean?
Grand Rapids,
You
Michigan.
live in Grand Rapids. Okay. All
Yep.
right. Well, cool, man. Well, do me a favor. Tell the listeners how they can get a hold of you, reach out to you if they're interested.
Well, you can go on to whiskar.com. You can search out our Instagram, which is whiskar at whiskar. I'm on LinkedIn on there quite a bit, so you can definitely look me up, Dean
Okay.
Hunt. And yeah, we're available. Whisk is definitely kind of our foothold into the augmented reality zone. So
That's cool, man. Well, look, the brand chain community is really thankful and lucky to have you in here. We need someone leading the charge in this space. There's a lot of people that are intrigued by it, but are also scared by it and wondering, where do we go? How do we use this? They know they need to be using it, but they don't know how to, where to turn to. So that's you,
yeah,
man.
any questions, just I have no problem just talking through stuff. And I'm
I just
not.
want to know. I just want to know what brand shirt that is, to be honest with you, Dean. I need that same shirt. That's what I really need to know is where did you get that shirt so that we can match the next time I see you, to be honest. So
Well, my wife bought it for me, so I'll have to
all
ask her.
right, all right. I'll email you and you can connect me your wife and I'll send it to my wife and then maybe next time at the next brand chain event you and I can match and we can look like
That
a
would be
couple.
awesome.
So well, hey Dean, honestly, thanks, man. We'll be sharing this on all of our social platforms. We'll tag you so you can share it with your community. And thanks for your time. Thank you for leading the charge in this space for us. And we'll chat with you soon.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, man. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks again for your time.